Imagine you've gone to see the doctor. He looks at you and looks at all of humanity and offers a single profound diagnosis. He doesn't start with a prescription or some complex surgery. He begins with a simple and undeniable observation about life. Life is inherently shaped by dukkha. So, as you guessed, the physician that you've come to see is Buddha. And this diagnosis is his first noble truth. For most of us in the United States, the realization of Buddha's first noble truth can feel pretty jarring or very pessimistic. We wonder if Buddhism is just all about suffering. Unfortunately, this is a complete misunderstanding of Buddha's intent. He was the opposite of pessimistic and was never a prophet of doom, more like a master mechanic. And he's offering a manual for these minds that seem to keep breaking down. Dukkha is a Pali word that's most often translated as suffering, but that definition is too narrow. Dukkha is much more subtle and pervasive than that. We're looking for lives of permanent and perfect smoothness, but the reality of life gives it a really gritty texture. It rubs against our hopes and dreams. The Buddha taught that our dukkha comes in three flavors. The first one is sukha dukkha, which is the more obvious kind. It includes physical pain, grief, loss, illness, old age. It's the headache, the heartbreak, the anxiety. This is what we universally recognize as the suffering of life. He also recognized something called viparinama dukkha, which is the suffering that we feel because things keep changing. It's a little bit more insidious, although we're all very familiar with it. It's like that delicious slice of pizza that brings you the pleasure, but if you eat the whole rest of the pizza, it becomes nausea. It's the thrill of a new relationship that fades into routine. It's the high from getting a promotion at work, buying a new car, or even a new tattoo. We all know how those moments fade away. Even our happiest moments in life are by their very nature impermanent, and we suffer because we don't want them to slip through our fingers. The last form of suffering that the Buddha taught was sankhara dukkha, which is the deepest and most existential level of suffering. This includes that background hum of life, that unease that comes from just being here in this conditioned and fragile world. It's that subtle dissatisfaction of always feeling a little incomplete or a little off, or like we're missing a piece of the puzzle that can't quite see. It's just out of our grasp. It's the anxiety of having this body and this mind, and they're constantly changing and are ultimately out of our full control. If any of this sounds familiar, it should. All the modern philosophies and Western psychology have been stealing his insights and ideas since they were created. The core of cognitive behavioral therapy, also called CBT or talk therapy, teaches us that our thoughts shape our emotions and behaviors, and it's a direct, practical application of the Buddha's teachings. Everyone's revisiting Stoic philosophy through philosophers like Marcus Aurelius. And those philosophies teach distinguishing between what's within our control and what is not, which is a super powerful tool for reducing dukkha. And guess where they got it from? Existentialists, for instance, grapple with the inherent anxiety of human existence, and it mirrors the concept of sankhara dukkha. So the Buddha's first noble truth is the door. It may look kind of plain or overly simple from the outside, but it's by design. Like the simplicity of Einstein's E equals mc squared. But don't let the simplicity of this fool you. It's actually the entrance to a journey of profound and deep self-discovery. I think it's more like learning a simple yoga position and then learning that there's 100 ways to deepen it and make it more effective. So don't let any of the American misinterpretations of Buddhism lead you to believe that it's some sort of a path to nihilism or pessimism. It actually leads to a deeper, more authentic, and more resilient kind of happiness and peacefulness. It's the beginning of the end of a struggle with the way things are. Our doctor, the Buddha, has given us this diagnosis. I chose to take a much deeper look at Buddhism to see if I can stick around for the cure.